Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we are continuing yet again the HRCYED 3 recommendations. We have reached the Shiritori prompt, and this is basically you take the last letter or word of a book, title, and that is the start of the title of the next book. And then you have to chain 5 books in that way, and they all have to be connected. So I made a chain for you for recommendations, and then I made a chain for myself with mostly library books I have at home right now. So first off, for you, I have Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This is, I think I have recommended this one before, so there's definitely also options for doubling up here. This is a book about Victor and Eli, I believe. And they find out that they can get superpowers if they have a near-death experience. So they basically kill each other and bring each other back to life and gain superpowers this way. And they're not the only ones who have gotten superpowers this way. Basically, they end up enemies, and we follow like how they came to be there and what they are each doing in order to defeat the other. And yeah, it's just really, really good, really gripping, really exciting. This one ends in an S, so for the next one I have Six of Crows, if you haven't read this one yet, by Lee Bardugo. This is 6 people who are brought together by this one guy, Cass. I forgot his name for a second there. Cass Brecker brings together these 6 people, including himself, to do a wild heist, basically. And yeah, we just learn about these 6 people and this heist they're doing. Again, really gripping, really compelling, a page turner. And if you haven't read it yet, it's amazing. And it also has an adaptation on Netflix, I believe, if you're into that. Oh, and that obviously ends on an S as well. So we have Stay Gold by Topley McSmith, and this is about a, I'm gonna say non-binary, is this the one? No, sorry, trans, he's trans. I just confused it with, what's it called? I Want the Best for You. I Wish You All the Best. Yeah. This one, the main character, Pony, is trans, and he's moved to a new school, and he's basically just trying to like fly under the radar and live his life. But obviously, for some reason, that's harder than it should be. But yeah, really emotional read. And that ends on a D. And for some reason, that was really hard to find. I picked Dystopia. Now, unless you live in Denmark, I'm not sure you can get this one. So you might have to find something else, but hang on, let me see. Okay, this year I have read 2 books starting with D. Daydream by Hannah Grace, which was fine. Romance, not really my thing. And then Debt, the First 5,000 Years by David Graeber. And that was a real chunker of a nonfiction about the economic history of debt and how it came to be. And that was like a little too brainy for me. Obviously, this would also ruin the chain that I have made from the A. But yeah, let me know, did you also find, if you ended up on a D, did you find it hard to find a book starting with D? And I have been strict, so I have not picked, anything starting with D or A, and then just skipped that for the next word. These are like truly the beginning letter of the title. Anyway, Dystopia by Dennis Jürgensen. I read this when I was a kid and loved it, and I have reread it many times since. It's basically these 2, like one guy, one girl from opposing kingdoms, and they're supposed to meet up and do like a peace treaty talk thing. But when they meet at the meetup, stuff goes wrong, and each of them think that the other one is the one who has betrayed like the mission. but they end up together, and they have to travel back to their own kingdoms in order to survive, and in order to tell their own kingdoms what's going on. And then obviously they figure out stuff along the way, because it is quite a chunker. And that ends in A. And then I have Atonement by Ian McEwan. And this is obviously a major motion picture that I really enjoyed when I saw it first. And I actually saw the movie first, and then I read the book, I'm pretty sure. But I really did enjoy the book as well. This is set in World War II. And it's about this young girl who wants to be an author, and she witnesses something that she can't really understand, and then she sort of makes up this story about it, and that story just goes wild and runs away from her and has enormous consequences for other people. And yeah, she later tries to atone for what she did, because she realizes what happened and her part in it, but does it really, like, is it enough? Can we really use that for anything? Yeah, really, really interesting and good book, and I do usually enjoy a war book. That sounds horrible to say, but it's true. I just think everything is just like heightened under the threat of war. Anyway, as for myself, I had a little look at the library books I had home from the library, obviously. And okay, they can't all fit here. I started out with Buried, an alternative history of the first millennium in Britain by Alice Roberts, because I read Crypt by her just recently and really, really enjoyed it. So I figured, why not read some more? And I'm like really interested in like the surroundings of death, death rituals and history of that and all that stuff. That ends in a D. Yeah, I was just like, this doesn't fit the chain, but it does. It's Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. I'm also reading this for Sunrise on the Readathon, hopefully, and a Katie Colson taste test, because this comes highly recommended from Katie Colson. I will say I DNF'd Hazelthorn by the same author, so I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about this one. But anyway, that ends in N. And for N, I have No Exit. And this one I'm going to double up with these same title prompt that's in the Not So Secret prompts anymore here in her kit. And also, this also comes highly recommended from Katie Colson, and hopefully I will read it in July for Sunrise on the Readathon. This is a thriller, so it should be pretty quick to read. Oh, and that ends in T. And for T, we have The Starving Saints. So I'm using the because that's the first word in the title. But I looked up on my Goodreads to find books starting with S, because I need that after, spoiler. And this one was under S. So obviously, not Goodreads, did I say Storygraph? I meant Storygraph. So obviously Storygraph doesn't count the and A when it alphabetizes. But I think that's kind of cheating. Is that just me? I don't know. Anyway, The Starving Saints. I did actually start this a while ago, and then I think it had to go back to the library, and I didn't have time to finish it. I was only like a couple of chapters in, but I got it out again because this is also for Sunrise on the Readathon, and her kit for Choose Your Party for a Sorcerer, so doubling up as well. And that ends in S. And I didn't have any more or any books starting with S on back home from the library. So I had a little look on Storygraph, and I found Stateless by Elizabeth Ween. And let's see, just a moment. There we go. yeah, Stateless by Elizabeth Wein. I have read Codename Verity and a couple of other books by her and really enjoyed them, so I figured why not this one as well. And she usually writes during the Second World War as well, so I figured that would be a good shout. And then we also have Sorcery and Small Magics by Micah Ducey. And I have heard pretty good things about this one as well, so I figured it's an S book, so just put it in there. And again, not that many books starting with S. Like I said, there were a lot of the something with S, but not like straight up S. Anyway, that is probably maybe going to be my chain. That's the plan, at least. Have you made a chain? Did you find it difficult? I feel like it was kind of difficult. Let me know how you did, and I'll see you soon with another video. Bye!